Among the headaches Donald Trump is leaving for President-elect Joe Biden is Asia's pivot away from U.S. economic leadership. As the White House was throwing every policy weapon in its arsenal at China, Xi Jinping was throwing open China's economy to 14 other countries. The title of the newly signed Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership, or RCEP, indulges in a bit of hyperbole. It's more vaguely worded, highly targeted, sector-specific pact that sadly excludes India than a comprehensive anything. Yet RCEP represents an infinitely greater win for free trade than any of the limited bilateral pacts Trump signed. It will add an estimated $200 billion to global gross domestic product annually. It also comes as Japan and South Korea join China in the rarefied club of major economies stabilizing amid COVID-19 fallout. The real memo to Biden's incoming government is that China just formalized the extent to which the globe won't wait for America to undo Trump's trade policies. He needs to hit the ground running to prevent Asia from moving on without the U.S. economy. It's no exaggeration to say, Beijing has successfully positioned itself at the center of the region's trade and investment networks, ousting the U.S. as the leading power in Asia-Pacific economic diplomacy, says analyst Tom Miller of Gavekal Research. Biden's administration will inherit Trump's ever-escalating trade war, but he need not continue it. Biden is a lifelong multilateralist whose first impulse will be hosting a series of summits with China's Xi Jinping, Japan's Yoshihide Suga and South Korea's Moon Jae-in. Perhaps even bringing North Asian leaders together for trilateral talks at the White House. There's a limit to how much multitasking Biden can do. Trump leaves behind a full-blown coronavirus epidemic and considerable economic fallout. The fractured nature of U.S. politics might limit Biden's own pivot to working with Asia, not sabotaging it. Biden starts out with a soft power deficit. The one saving grace is that RCEP is hardly the game-changer Beijing suggests. Sure, the bloc covers about 30% of world gross domestic product and 2.2 billion people, making it a record accomplishment. But it is still fuzzy on details and enforcement mechanisms. It will, in theory, eliminate tariffs and quotas for 65% of traded goods, which in many ways makes RCEP less ambitious than the Trans-Pacific Partnership trade deal. Even so, pumping the equivalent of Peru's GDP into world markets annually is not nothing. It's a tailwind the U.S. won't enjoy as 2021 begins. Priority 1 for Biden's White House is getting the coronavirus under control. The first wave saw U.S. growth plunge toward Depression-era depths. A second could hit demand and confidence even harder, and with less policy latitude to stabilize growth. Washington's debt load has already surpassed the $27 trillion mark. And the Federal Reserve's balance sheet has already swelled past a Japan-like $5 trillion.